No DQ Galaxy, we are live with predictions for AEW's biggest show of the year. Biggest definitely in terms of crowd size. We have All In 2024 coming back to Wembley Stadium. Over 50,000 fans will be in attendance for All In. Should be a very eventful show. I'm looking forward to it, not just because it's a nice card, but also it's going to be early in the day, which I very much appreciate. I love the early afternoon shows on the weekend. I can have dinner afterwards, depending on how long the live recap goes, and then can chill for the rest of the evening. So we're going to go around and get everyone's thoughts. Chat room, make sure you leave your comments in the chat room, your opinions on the card. We have 10 matches tonight to discuss, and as Matthew pointed out to us, knowing AEW, they may add 3 more matches over the weekend. So be ready for more. I would be shocked if we're just sticking with 10 here. But Matthew, I'll start off with you. How excited are you for the show on a scale of 1 to 10? Wembley Stadium, All In.
Honestly, I know people consider me pretty AEW biased, but I'm pretty curious what they're going to do with this. I'd say I'm good, probably 7 out of 10. I'm curious how certain matches are definitely going to play out, especially the main event.
I agree on that.
I hope Toni actually can deliver on this one.
I think All In will be a great show, and I am very much intrigued by the main event, but we'll talk more about that in a few moments. I'm feeling like a solid 8 out of 10 for this one. Big G, how are you feeling about this? I know Britt Baker's on the card, so does that influence your opinion of the show?
It does. I'm gonna go an 8 out of 10 as well. You know, the card does look pretty well put down on paper. We have all the titles on the line, so I'm excited for All In. So,
all right, we got Dwayne Atkinson back with us tonight. Dwayne, how's it going? How are you feeling about All In?
I'm feeling great about it, man. I was looking at the build and the card that we had for it. I was going maybe 7 out of 10, but then now I'm reading today about a possible spoiler debut that could be happening that I'm all excited about. So we'll talk about that. I'm going straight 8 out of 10 as well.
All right, and last but certainly not least, we got good old JM, Jeff Meacham, no DQ veteran in the house tonight. Jeff, how are you feeling about this one? We've seen everything over the years from WWE, WCW, AEW, TNA, ECW. So much over the years, and we got the Joker, not the Batman villain, but we got the Cat Joker in the shot here to hijack Jeff's segment. But now, Jeff, I'll throw it back over to you. Go ahead.
Horrible entendre word I could use, but we're only in the first 5 minutes of the show, so I'll refrain. I'll use it later toward the end. But I'm actually looking forward to it. I haven't looked forward to AEW pay-per-views, even though they always tend to deliver because it's AEW and I'm kind of mixed about the product, but they've really built this one up. I'm gonna go with the consensus, almost consensus of 8 out of 10. I'm a little weary about some of the matches, but I think overall it'll deliver, and we'll talk more about it after the show too. So it'll be a fun weekend, I think.
All right, let's get to the card. We're going to try to get through these matches relatively quickly so we don't end up going on too long. We got 10 matches on paper as of now. So we're going to start with the All-In 0-hour match. I don't think there's too much to say about this one. We got Willow, Nightingale, and Tomohiro Ishii versus Kris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway. I mean, Stokely Hathaway in this? I mean, come on. Willow and Ishii win. I mean, let's be real here. Stokely's probably going to get his ass kicked and beat up by Ishii. I think this one's pretty straightforward. Jeff, any prediction on this?
I think Stokely and Kris are going to win just to be those assholes. Like I really think it's going to be a thing, and they're gonna further this until they figure out a way to blow it off properly. I know a lot of people are invested in Kris and Willow, but I am. So I think Stokely and Kris are going to win just to be like a what moment.
I just feel like Ishii never wins in AEW. Like he's due for a win, right?
Exactly.
I mean, Matthew, what do you think?
I'm with Jeff. I think Stokely and Statlander are probably going to have some sort of contingency plan to help them win. I think this is probably going to lead to the blow-off match at All Out, which is probably for the CMLL title that no one really cares about. But yeah, I think the heels are going to win. And yeah, I don't think Stokely's going to end up being in the match. They'll end up having some sort of surprise replacement for him. But yeah, the heels are going to win.
Well, that's not fair if they change it on us at the last second. But
That's changed, pal.
that's very true. All right, Big G. I mean, I don't care. This is the kickoff match.
Yeah.
I really don't care if I'm wrong. Oh, well. G.
There is a stipulation in the match. The winner does get to choose the match for between Willow and Statlander at All Out.
Oh,
see, there you go.
So I feel like the heels have to win here. I feel like Statlander and Stokely are gonna win. I feel like Stokely's gonna get the pinfall too, just to like rub it in our face.
Right.
Just to rub it in our faces. But my official prediction, I'm gonna go with the heels to win this match.
all right.
If he gets that pin, they'll be incorrigible for 2 weeks. It'll be so bad.
Well, now I think I got to change my pick now that I know about that stipulation because it makes sense for the heels to pick the stipulation. So, Ishii's going to lose again. Poor guy. He's there to just lose.
That's right.
If I'm wrong, then oh well. All right, I'm changing my pick. Noah Foster. Noah Foster does the No DQ Predictions League, so maybe he'll hear this, maybe he won't. Dwayne, we'll wrap it up with you, and then we'll get to the main card. Go ahead.
I got nothing more to add, nothing to take away from it. I'm going with the heels as well.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Easy. 1, 2, 3. Easy peasy. Let's get to the main card. All right. So, first of all, the Learning Sicko Dr. Bropio sent in a $2 CA super chat. Thank you for that. Says, Stokely getting his Wembley moment, but Pac can't. Well, Pac is on the card now. We'll get to his match in just a few moments. Now, I don't know if anybody here knows the answer to this. Other than Hangman Adam Page, who else is in this Casino Gauntlet match for guaranteed one title?
Darby Allin, Evil Uno, Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong.
Evil
I think I heard
Kyle O'Reilly.
I think Briscoe's in it too. I heard
Briscoe's in it too. Yeah, the whole conglomeration.
I hate that name. I hate that name. If any name is a mouthful, it's not marketable. Don't use it.
Do you hate that more? Or you hate the name of Sonia's team more?
Mauritius group.
Oh, well, you know what? It's slightly better than the Pure Fusion Collective.
Yeah.
How about the No Quarter Cats Club?
I hate that name too.
Let me see.
All right, yeah, because I looked on Wikipedia and they didn't have the participants, so I'm kind of going blind here.
This is where I want to talk
never mind
about.
that Darby Allin. Darby Allin's in the match with Jack Perry. Sorry.
I was going to say, Darby's facing Jack Perry.
Unless he's pulling double duty, he's crazy like that.
He is crazy, that's true. I still say whatever happens, Hangman will be in the match and Jeff Jarrett will cost him a victory. So.
Okay. Anyways, so you guys can make a pick. We'll probably do 2 picks for Noah Foster's league. Your primary pick will give you 2 points. Your secondary pick will get you 1 point. So I will start here. My number 2 pick is going to be Hangman Adam Page because he's by far the biggest star in the match, and it could set up him getting a title match at All Out or something like that. My number 1 pick is somebody who is not yet in AEW, and his name used to be at one time Ricochet, and it might be Rick O'Shea, it might be Prince Puma. I don't know what his name's going to be, but that man, formerly Ricochet or whatever he's going to be called, sounds like he's going to be at All In, and he's going to be a big surprise. So I'm going to put him as my number 1 pick, with Adam Page being number 2. So, Dwayne, we'll throw it over to you now. Go ahead. You can name anybody you want. You can name somebody, maybe Bobby Lashley. I mean, we could have another surprise. Who knows? What do you think?
Jeff, I'm going to ask you this one. How many people have debuted in this match and won?
Oh, God.
On the spot.
Is there
He's got a dog named Spot.
Yeah, not dog spot, liver spot. I'm on the spot. Goodness, sorry, Arn. I apologize, Arn. If you're watching, which you're not, because you don't watch this shit. Because Arn doesn't watch anybody else's shit. God, I don't know. I really don't. I can't look it up because the computer's not handy.
Brown Cage's the only one.
That sounds like that'd be accurate.
What I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick the ones that I know is in the match, and don't assume. My number 2 pick is going to be the man he's starting first, Orange Cassidy. I think that he's going to be getting a good push here pretty soon, as well as a few others that I'm reading. But my primary one, I think, was going to be the one I thought was going to take it all along, Hangman Adam Page.
All right, there you go. So, Matthew, we'll throw it over to you now with your thoughts.
Well, as much as I hate to say it, it's Hangman's probably going to win it, especially with the rumors of them wanting to do Hangman Swerve yet again at All In or All Out. But I do think that Ricochet probably will be not only will he this be his debut, but yeah, he's probably gonna be the second entry. I think they'll have Jarrett try to cost Hangman, but I think it's gonna be Ricochet's gonna be number 2 and Page is number 1 for me.
All right, Big G.
Number 2. I think I'm gonna go with Orange Cassidy as well. On number 1, Hangman Adam Page. Simple as that.
All right.
Because I feel like Hangman's been in a bunch of casino battle royals and won a couple of them, but he's never won the world title after winning the Gauntlet match. So I feel like he's due for it.
All right, Jeff, did we get yours or no?
I'm gonna go with Ricochet as well, just because that sounds like the perfect way to debut him, and I think he's taking the name with him. I think he was able to bring that with him out of the Indies into WWE, so I think he's gonna take it with him. He's my number 1 pick. My number 2 pick will be Hangman Page, just because it seems like the easy thing to say.
All right, there you go. Simple as that. We'll move on now to the London ladder match for the AEW World Trios Championship. We got the Bang Bang Gang, Juice Robinson and the Guns versus the House of Black. Malakai Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews versus the Patriarchy, Christian Cage, Nick Wayne, and Killswitch, and a mystery team. But spoiler alert, that team is the Blackpool Combat Club. I believe it's Claudio with Willow Yuta, and then Pac. Pac is getting his Wembley moment. So that's a Collision spoiler. Sorry for anybody out there that didn't want the spoiler. My apologies. But we're going to be talking spoilers. I already talked about Ricochet, but I mean, pretty much that's all over the internet now. So Matthew, we'll start with you. You kind of made a face when I mentioned this match. So what are your thoughts on this one?
I know we were going to try to keep it short tonight, but this is my question Tony Khan's booking match of the night.
No.
First we had, remember when Killswitch looked like he was going to turn on Christian, and then that never happened. And then we hinted at Christian and Edge teaming together. Edge got hurt. Then they gave the Bang Bang Game all the trios titles. And then Jay White got hurt, and they made them relinquish the titles just to have a match with the Patriarchy anyways. And now they're throwing all these trio teams together. And then we've got Pac, who's the number 1 contender for the international American title, who should be in the match at All In, but instead he's in this thrown together match just to be on the show so he can have his match at All Out. It's kind of goofy, but I think House of Black should win, but Patriarchy might retain. But there are the rumors that Killswitch is injured, I think. That's why Mama Wayne's been holding the title. But I think House of Black should probably win this.
Oh, man. I mean, it's going to be quite the spectacle with all these people out there. It's going to be pure chaos. Dwayne, you raised your hand up. You got some thoughts on this one?
No, I was just going to correct him. He's going after the Continental title. that Okada holds. But I guess
No,
that might have been the one he was talking about. He said international, so.
No, it's the international and the American.
No. Pac's the number one contender for the title. He lost the international title.
Okay, I thought he was going after Okada. I thought he challenged Okada for the title.
These titles are all the same. Continental, international, whatever.
This is going to be this will be a pretty good match, quite frankly. These ladder matches always seem to deliver, even though it's going to probably wind up being a train wreck more than anything else. Just for shits and giggles, I'm just going to go somehow or another. When it comes to Christian, man, I can't seem to bet on him and win. Bet against him and lose and win. So I'm going to throw it on the Patriarchy. He's going to find some sort of way to win it.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I think the champs are going to retain. I don't see Pac winning because it is the international title, not the continental title, not the outer continental title. It's the international title, or the American title, as MJF calls it. I don't even know anymore what the hell is going on here. But yeah, I say that the Patriarchy will retain. Christian will find a way to keep the titles for his team. Maybe Mama Wayne climbs up the title and retains it for them. Who knows? Big G, what do you think?
Yeah, this match is going to be a complete cluster. Four teams of 12 people in one ring in the ladder match. Think about it.
Not counting Mama Wayne.
Not counting Michael, right? Honestly, I don't think the trios titles have really meant much since House of Black lost them.
No.
Blackpool Combat Club's not going to win it. House of Black, Bang Bang Gang, Patriarchy. Yeah,
you were evil for that comment, by the way.
I'm going to go with the champs to retain.
All right, there you go, Jeff. It's on you now.
I'm still scarred for life for that whole Ellsworth experiment in the first place. God. Like I said, met him at the SmackDown. He seemed like a decent guy. And then you go, oh, wait, maybe not so much. Anyway. God. I'm looking at participants just so I have my computer handy. Yeah, I can't see any really viable scenario but the Patriarchy retaining just to keep that story going. Because if they lose, how does Christian spin the story, right? So they almost have to win. But and Mama Wayne climbing the ladder to get the championship actually intrigues me as so ridiculous that they'll actually do it.
Yeah, probably. All right, guys, we'll move on now.
I bet she's going to push the ladder over.
Yeah, there you go. There's an idea.
I think I'm going to have to change my pick and go with the Patriarchy with you guys as well. Because, the more we joke about it feels like that's something they're going to do. I think the titles are best with the House of Black, but I feel like they're going to continue running this Patriarch story.
All right, everybody got their final thoughts locked in? All right. Sure. We'll move on here now to the match everybody's looking for. Hi, guys. We got the FTW Championship up for grabs. Chris Jericho versus Hook. If Hook loses, he cannot challenge Chris Jericho again for the very prestigious FTW Championship. But I guess much like CM Punk's bracelet, there's sentimental value. Taz came up with the FTW title, so Hook has to win it back for his dad. I don't know if that's the storyline or not, nor do I really care. Apparently, Fozzy is going to be performing. Not sure if they're doing Judas. I mean, he hasn't used Judas in a while now, or if they're going to perform the new song. I don't know. I don't care. Hook wins this, end the feud. Let's move on to something else. Big G, what do you think about this one?
Yeah, not much else to say. I'm going to go with Hook to win as well, and hopefully see the last of Jericho in AEW for quite a while, so Fozzy can tour.
I hate to say it, like if Jericho left AEW, I would not really miss him that much. Like if he goes back to WWE, like I'd be interested in the Hall of Fame induction and maybe one final WrestleMania, but I don't really have any more interest in him in AEW. I know he's trying to reinvent himself over and over again, and I appreciate that, but I'm so beyond over the learning tree. I have like no interest in that whatsoever. So, Jeff, we'll go over to you now. What do you see happening with this one?
I say pull him off the air, give Hook the title, and have him be gone till at least the cruise in January. That way, Fozzy, like I said, Fozzy can do their tour thing, and then they'll find a way to integrate, maybe have some sort of something go down on the cruise or around the time of the cruise in January and working back in. But for now, definitely need a Jericho break.
Yeah. Dwayne, what do you think?
Is Jericho taking a break following this area?
I mean, he says he has no intentions on slowing down.
I mean, I agree with all y'all what y'all saying. The only thing that I could see possibly changing the outcome of this is if Tom Billington joins his line injury, which I hope not. I think Hook needs some friends in this match to help him out. So Hook wins it, man. I'll say no. Hook's gonna win it.
I think he's got it. Hook, line, and sinker. But Matthew, you're the last one here. Who are you going with?
Hook, I mean, I feel bad that he's going to be a 3-time FTW champion and hasn't really had a real title. And this will be the second time he's won it at All In, but he's got to get out of this feud. He's got to get out of this feud, and I agree. Jericho has to go away, and Hook needs to move on to something else. Give Hook a real title shot. He could be AEW's answer to Dominic, and he's, floundering with Jericho. But yeah, Hook wins, and hopefully we move on from this feud.
Yeah, we'll see if they actually conclude it here or if it continues. I think it really needs to be Hook just destroying Jericho, but we'll see. All right, we'll move on to the next match. We got the TNT Championship. Jack Perry, who's the champion, apparently he burned his title or did some crap to it. It's all black now. So we got the TNT Championship versus Darby Allin. Darby talked about how he's trying to find the highest spot in Wembley Stadium to jump off of. You know he's going to do something crazy in this match. Should be entertaining. But with that being said, I do not think we will have a title change here. Darby is going to be having a world title match at Grand Slam coming up in September. So I don't see him winning the title here. Jack Perry just won it recently. I think Jack Perry retains, probably shenanigans. Maybe something crazy is going to happen with Darby on this show. You just know he's going to do some wild stunts. So it'll be a spectacle, much like the ladder match. Dwayne, we'll start with you on this one. What are your thoughts on this? I say champ retains. What do you think?
At one time, I was going to suggest it, but I'm reading some few things myself that kind of made me want to change my mind and say Darby Allin's going to win it. Quite frankly, with the rumors of Sting possibly going to be making an appearance at All In, I don't see no reason why this would be his appearance to come out there and help Darby in some sort of way. So I'm going to say Darby wins it and gets the title back.
Interesting. Well, Big G, we'll throw it over to you now and get your thoughts.
Well, mind you, this is a coffin match, so I don't know if that'll.
Oh, yeah.
It is a coffin match, and Darby has won all his coffin matches so far. So, with that being said, he is going to win the title, but then I'm sure he'll lose it again to Jack Perry later down the road before Grand Slam. Grand Slam is in September, end of September.
And we have All Out, remember? So, I mean, that is a possibility. Yeah. I mean, they could hot potato the TNT title once more.
I love Darby. I like Darby Allin, but I feel like he's won the TNT title as many times as R-Truth won the 24/7 title. Let's be real.
Yeah. Dwayne?
Not to take away from what I say, but Jack Perry's also won a coffin match as well. Though I don't think it was considered a coffin match. It was like a final rights match of some sort, but it was the same concept as a coffin match.
I'm still going to go with Darby Allin to win.
Yeah, me too.
All right, we'll throw it over to Matthew now.
I want Darby to win, but the fact that they gave Jack Perry, his own special title that he made, of course, we know that's not true. I don't think Perry's going to lose. I honestly kind of feel we're going to see an all elite victory throughout the night. I might be giving away spoilers for another match, but yeah, I just don't think they're going to have Perry drop the title yet. I think this will be how Darby gets moved on to the possible world title rumors somehow. I don't know if it means a Darby heel turn or what, but yeah, I think sadly Jack Perry is winning.
All right. Jeff is back. Jeff, what do
Sorry,
you got for us?
my phone overheated. That's how that's how my day is going. Lord. I heard it mentioned that Darby's won all his Coffin matches. Didn't Jack Perry have a Coffin match with Christian at some point?
He did.
That's what I was talking. It was a last rights match. That's what it was called. Not
Yeah.
same concept.
Yeah,
I like a last rights and a buried alive match all in one.
Yeah, I would. I'm gonna go with Darby and his crazy stunt du jour winning, but then Jack getting it back not too long from now.
All right, there you have it. Solid predictions for that one. And we'll move on now. We got the AEW World Tag Team titles up for grabs. We got the champs, the Young Bucks, Jeff Meacham's favorite tag team of all time.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm good.
It's all good. Young Bucks versus the Acclaimed versus FTR. Triple threat match. Big G, we'll start with you on this one. Young Bucks, they haven't really defended the titles much, but they're doing it at Wembley against not one, but two teams. What are your thoughts on this one?
I mean, besides all of us hating the Young Bucks, this should be a good match, a fun match, entertaining match. But I'm going to go with new champs in the team of FTR.
All right, FTR to win the titles. Matthew, we'll go to you next. What are your thoughts?
Well, I kind of spoiled it last prediction, but I think old Rod and Todd Flanders are going to retain and, not, have another title match for another 4 months. And I think they're probably going to end up pinning the Acclaim, and then the Acclaim and FTR are going to continue their feud into All Out. But yeah, the Bucks are winning.
I agree with you.
They're not going to lose another match at Wembley. They lost last year at Wembley against FTR. They're not going to lose again at Wembley this year.
I agree with you. Matthew and Nicholas Jackson will beat the Acclaimed. That's why the Acclaimed are in this match, to take the fall, and the Bucks retain. FTR don't have to do another job. That's how I see it. Good old JM, we'll go over to you now with your thoughts.
I sadly have to disagree with you on that one, boss man. It's and the fact the Bucks lost at this show last year, they're gonna retain. It's especially if Jack's not, then they will. And again, I agree with Bropio. I love seeing the Bucks and FTR, but it's been overdone now. Like they are two of the best tag teams of this generation, without a doubt. Even my disdain for the Bucks, I can't overlook that. But yeah, the Bucks retain, and I hate that's a fact, but I feel that it is. It just sucks.
All right, Dwayne, we'll wrap it up with you on this one. What do you think?
This is one match that I was really torn on. As bad as I want to see the Bucks lose the titles, I'm tired of seeing them in FTR fight. They've about had as many matches as New Day and Usos had, I believe. You know what? I think they're going to try to use their political power, find some sort of way to win it, and retain it. I think the Bucks are going to win it.
All right, there you have it.
Screw it.
See what happens. Going with the Bucks.
I'll go with them freaking EVPs.
All right, there you have it. Big G going with the Bucks, and we'll see what happens on that one. Should be an entertaining match. All right, now we got our big four, I guess you could say. We got two big women's championship matches. We'll start off with the TBS title. We got Mercedes Moné, the CEO, defending her championship against the Doctor, Britt Baker, DMD. And this should be a very entertaining match. Big G, I know you're a big Britt Baker fan, or at least you were until she stopped being pushed strongly. But now she's back. She's in the title match. But how are you going to react when she ultimately loses? Go ahead.
Well, she's not ultimately going to lose. I think this was, God. So I feel like Greg's probably going to hate me, but I feel like Mercedes' run in AEW so far has been complete crap. Complete and utter crap. I feel like everything she says is being forced down our damn throats. So that being said, my girl Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, is going to retain with the help of the returning Jamie Hayter.
God, he took my pick.
With the returning Jamie Hayter. And then this is me fantasy booking. Hayter's going to turn on Britt after the match.
Well, I mean, she could potentially get some help. You got Camille out there, and yeah, she could have somebody to even the odds. But I am going to say Mercedes retains. Britt got the best of her on the Dynamite show, and that's what I'm going with. Mercedes, she's got her big contract. I don't see her losing the title right away. I think she's going to hold on to it for a bit, and Britt's going to have to live to fight another day. But Jeff, we'll throw it over to you now and get your thoughts.
So this is very likely influenced by the binge watching I've been doing here lately, but I just got finished watching the 1994 King of the Ring. And Aaron will remember, I don't know who else was watching at that point, but Jim Neidhart came in to second Bret Hart against Diesel, who had Shawn Michaels. And Neidhart cost Bret the match, but saved the title. I think Jamie Hayter is going to return, but she's going to get lost in the idea of I need to rephrase. She is going to help Britt try to win, but ultimately cost her. And then when Britt questions why she got DQ'd, that's when Jamie turns. Because she doesn't want Britt to succeed, because Britt, if you look back at the end of their relationship before they returned, and then when Jamie got hurt again, Britt very much treated Jamie the same way she treated Rebel. So I think that's still weighing on Jamie's mind, and they're not going to boo Britt Baker. Everybody loves Britt right now. So if Jamie turns and it becomes the heel, it almost seems like a more natural flow. So I think Mercedes ultimately retains. God, that hurt me to say that. But I think it'll be because of Jamie Hayter, not Britt winning because of Jamie.
All right, there you have it. Dwayne Atkinson, what do you think?
That's some good points. However, I jumped to conclusions when Big G called out Jamie Hayter, because she's not the one I think's coming back. I think they said she's got a while yet. Factors don't even really have a timetable yet when she probably will be back. I was saying Rebel was going to come back and protectively probably be in Britt's corner, then it was going to turn on her as well. There's always going to be a heel turn somewhere at an AEW big event, I think. So I'm going with what's her face to win? Mercedes.
The CEO, the highest paid female wrestler in the world?
Yeah.
All right. There you have it.
Chief Enduring Offender? Yeah, that's her. Yeah, anyway.
All right, Matthew, we'll wrap this one up with your thoughts. Will Jamie Hayter show up? Or, I mean, I think people are expecting it now because it's England, and she's been gone a while.
Well, of course, I agree with everything Big G said about Mercedes, and I think more people are curious if there's going to be a blow-up backstage between Mercedes and Britt than the actual match. But a good friend of ours, Ron DeShane, actually posted something on his Facebook page yesterday that caught my attention. Apparently, there was a comment made about Jamie Hayter, and Rebel posted something like, "Don't bet on it." So I think there's friction there, and I think Hayter will return after over a year of being gone, but yeah, she's going to end up siding with Mercedes and costing Britt. Because I think I've heard rumors that, God help us all, Mercedes wants to create some sort of new all-female faction that, of course, she's the CEO of. In other words, all these better people to carry her bum ass.
But she already specified that she's creating one on during a promo, I believe.
Yeah, she called it
they
like
said with her being just to be Camille just being the beginning, I think is what she said of it.
Yeah, I think she was calling it Moné Inc. or something like that. But yeah, I think Hayter will return, get the big pop because he's from the UK, but he's going to end up costing Hayter. And then they're probably going to end up having Hayter and Britt feud. But yeah, God help us, Mercedes is going to win and do her little stripper dance to 50,000 people.
Okay. Just for that comment, Mika Rotunda should come in and just punch the hell out of Mercedes. Holy shit. Oh, that's so stupid.
Moné Inc.
Yeah, we already had that downplayed before.
Cease and desist from that one, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Are we gonna have a brawl out too between Mercedes and Britt backstage?
And what's up with that now? People are making predictions that there's going to be like a real backstage fight at All In.
That's so bad that's what the company's been reduced to in the last 5 years.
Everyone's wondering what news articles they're going to be at the end of the show. Breaking news: backstage fight at AEW All In.
Seriously, we're going to be recapping this show, boss, and all of a sudden the freaking server's going to shut down again. Like, okay, what happened in England? What happened?
All right. All right, we got the AEW Women's World Championship. We got timeless Toni Storm versus Mariah May. This match has been several months in the making, pretty much since when Mariah May first arrived in AEW. They've been planting the seeds for this one. Now, if you had asked me a week ago, I would have said, yeah, Mariah May's easily winning this. But on the Dynamite Go Home show, Mariah did get the best of Toni Storm, and that tends to be a clue. Whoever gets the last laugh before the pay-per-view ends up losing. So I'm actually kind of torn on this one. I want to hear everybody else's thoughts. Matthew, do you see a title change here? I mean, Toni's been champ for a while, so if there's going to be a title change for Mariah, London seems to be the place. What do you think?
I mean, I think it's going to happen. This is the best storyline AEW has right now. But yeah, I think Toni's time as champion has come to an end, and we are going to see the rise of Mariah May. And I think it will probably be one of the best matches on the card as well, as long as it's given proper time. But yeah, we will see a new champion. The glamorous Mariah May, and we might even get to see her favorite, partner, Mina Shirakawa show up and give everybody a kiss to make all the sickos happy to go home happy.
There you go. Nice happy ending for the sickos.
Jeez, Aaron, God.
All right, well, Dwayne, this is going to be a great match, I think. I could see this being one of the best, if not the best, women's matches in AEW history. It's going to be great. I actually have very high expectations for this one. Hopefully they don't do some screwy finish. I think they should have a clean ending to this one. They may have the actual heel get involved. Somebody might get hit with the shoe, or maybe Mina comes out there. But I hope they try to do something clean here for the prestige of the title. What do you think, Dwayne? What do you think is going to happen?
For what it's worth, the way they've been playing that shoe off, they should have put it on a pole.
Check, please.
I'm definitely Toni Storm's one of my favorites in AEW right now. She's just killing it with this new gimmick she's got. You got to compare it. Toni's been champion for a while, but yet Mariah's undefeated. And she's been there for a while as well. So how are they going to play this to come out? I'm going with Toni, man. I think she's going to retain it.
All right. Well, I'm very torn. I'm still not sure. So I got to hear good old JM's thoughts. Maybe he can persuade me on this one. Jeff, what are you thinking for this?
Yeah. Put it on me. Okay. I think the reason they made the Owen Cup winners, or they stated that the winners of the tournament would get shots at Wembley, was to make the title more important, or the tournament rather more important, but also make the winners seem more important than they already were. Bryan Danielson didn't need that. He's Bryan Danielson, right? But Mariah May, as much as the story between her and Toni was like you guys said, the best story AEW's got going right now as far as like the long-term process of it. They needed that switch, and I thought it was going to be Toni that was going to be turning when Mariah May won, and it surprised the hell out of me that Mariah has really stepped up in the last however long it's been since the tournament now, few weeks. God, not even barely a month. Wow. It feels like there's been so much told in a month. That's crazy. I think that her winning and still showing up with the belts, like actually having the Owen belt out there as part of her presentation, is indicative to me how important it is to her that she won the tournament and that she gets the shot at Toni. I think she's going to win here. It's going to be one of those, I know you want a clean finish, Aaron, but Mariah in her current incarnation almost has to have some sort of shenanigans, even if it's the shoe going upside her head, then that's okay with me. If it gets too gimmicky, I'm gonna frown on it. It's gonna be rough. But
yeah,
I think something just as basic as the shoe, or even something simple as opposed to this long, drawn out, elaborate gimmick stuff, then I'll be okay with it.
All right, Dwayne.
Quick question. Mariah May, is she from England or Australia?
England.
England, and I'm changing my pick.
Toni's from Australia.
Yeah, well, that's why I couldn't remember which one.
Toni's from Australia, but she's been based in England.
They're going to at least one home person to win the title. So yeah, I'm going with Mariah May to win it. Shenanigans involved, I'm sure.
Well, she was actually born in New Zealand, but yeah, she wrestled in Australia before.
New Zealand, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
They're right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's basic part of the world, same area.
Don't tell New Zealanders that, though. They'll kick your ass.
Well, I mean, it's like the U.S. and Canada.
No. It's not, because the New Zealanders and the Aussies do not get along. Like Canada, it's like they're our cool neighbors in the north. They're like a really
all right. U.S. and Mexico.
There's a whole other conversation.
All right, we're not going to go any further with that one. All right, Big G, let's get your thoughts.
Yeah, this one's a toughy one for me too. Like last night, Toni did successfully defend her title against Mariah. So I have a feeling that Mariah is gonna win on Sunday. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Mariah May to win the title on Sunday. And I don't know what the heck Toni was doing last night. I thought she was about to do like a crane kick or something like that to Mariah.
What the hell?
Put her hands up like maybe it's like almost like a T almost if you look at it. But yeah, I'm gonna go.
I'm here.
Thought we lost Jeff there for a minute.
No, you didn't. I had to change clothes because my ride for dinner is here, so I got to change while we're talking.
Your ride for dinner?
Yeah, I'm going to dinner with people. I have
Go ahead, Aaron. You're up.
All right. Well, I'm still torn. You guys didn't really help me too much because I'm still undecisive on this one. So my initial thought was Mariah May is going to win, and I'm going to stick with that, even though I could see Toni retaining here because I think about the shoe and how they did that angle. Toni got bloodied up, and she's got to get her revenge, but Mariah got the best of her on Dynamite. I'm going to stick with Mariah, but I'm not confident on this one.
Here's a scenario for you, Aaron. So Mariah May takes the shoe, right? And Toni's in the corner. And she runs and takes the shoe, but somehow Toni moves out of the way, and the shoe lands on the turnbuckle, and then Mariah runs into the shoe onto the turnbuckle. Something like that, where the shoe ends up being the bad luck for never mind. Screw all that. Forgot I ever said that. I just I caught myself thinking of something else.
All right, well,
Tony Khan, you can't predict nothing he does, unlike WWE that's so predictable.
Yeah. Mariah May is a pretty strong betting odds favorite, so I'm just going to stick with Mariah. But I could see this one going either way. All right, guys, we're going to move on to our next to last match here. We only got 2 left, so we've been moving along here pretty nicely. We got the international / American title, Will Ospreay versus MJF. So I have 2 things to say about this match. Number 1, it's going to be a great match. It'll probably get 5+ stars, maybe 6 stars. You know it's going to be awesome. it's MJF and Will Ospreay. You know they're going to tear the house down. It's going to have a ton of heat being in England. MJF's going to get booed out of the building. They're going to milk the crowd. It's going to be a spectacle. So I'm really looking forward to that because of the dynamics and the quality of these two as performers. With that being said, unlike the last match, I think this one is extremely predictable. I say there's almost zero chance that Will Ospreay loses this one. So I'm going with Will Ospreay to win back the title, win the big match in England. I just don't see him losing again to MJF. I think this actually might be the most easily predictable match on the entire card. Will Ospreay wins. I just don't see a scenario where MJF wins again. So yeah, new champion, Will Ospreay, and he's going to probably win with the Tiger Driver since Bryan Danielson gave him the blessing to use the move. So Big G, what do you think on this?
Yeah, this should be one hell of a match. I mean, their last match when they faced each other went nearly almost an hour. So this is All In. So they have the time. I can feel like this match going another like 40, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
You know,
has to.
Because otherwise you can't really. It won't live up to their first match. Right. God, I really want Ospreay to win just because, but MJF just came back too, and he recently returned as a heel. I'm gonna go with MJF retaining as the American champion.
Oh wow! All right. Well, there you go, Big G with the bold prediction. Dwayne, what do you think?
I'm going with you, Aaron. I've always betted my money on Will Ospreay all along. This is the match that I was talking about that I didn't want to bring up during the casino match, but I think this is where we're going to get the return of Ricochet or the debut of Ricochet, possibly the match coming out to congratulate Will Ospreay. So.
Do Ospreay and Ricochet have history? I can't remember.
Yes,
They do.
God. Yeah, I'm not changing my pick. I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with MJF.
Wow. All right. Jeff Meacham.
See, I'm going with Max because of Ricochet.
What?
You heard me. I didn't stutter for once. Ricochet needs to change in his presentation. He is when he was like the babyface Ricochet's great. He's entertaining to watch, but Ricochet can be a heel. He's done it, and it can work. And the way you get it to work is he cost Will Ospreay in London. That's how you get him instantly like, oh, you, and it just instantly turns the world against him because he cost Ospreay in his backyard.
What if that does happen? What if Ricochet came out with like the Prince Puma mask and then took it off, like as a reveal? Like people are thinking like, all right, who's under the mask?
They wouldn't have to. The tattoos would give it away.
Well, I mean, depending on, according to the chat room, it's supposed to be cold, so he can always wear a bodysuit to cover the tattoos. But I think Ricochet's debut, whether it's in the casino match or not, he will be involved in the championship match, the American, and get it right. It is the American Championship. God bless MJF, a proud American defending his country against these foreign fanatics.
The turncoat terrorists, says MJF.
Terrorists, the damn British. So send your hate tweets to @_Jeff Meacham. But Max retains.
All right. Well, I am a little surprised that you guys are picking MJF. Matthew, I guess we'll throw it over to you now. You can.
Why are you surprised I'm picking MJF? He's our scumbag. He is completely our fault. You and I.
Nah, he's just a scumbag. Go ahead, Go ahead, Matthew.
Well, one, I think this match needed some sort of stipulation. How are you going to have a hour-long match that should have been on the pay-per-view to begin with, and then go into the pay-per-view, and then what? They're just going to repeat the same match again with no stipulation? Again, this is also where I feel Pac should have been in the match, because what do you do with MJF if he loses the title? But at the same time, you don't want to see Ospreay lose a third big match. So I'm torn. I think Ospreay's going to win because, one, it's at Wembley. It feels like that's what they're going to do. I think Meltzer will also disown Toni if his golden boy doesn't win at home. But I'm more curious of what do they do with both people afterwards, because MJF really, where does MJF go from here if he loses? Yeah. This is where Pac would have been the good point to have it a three-way, have Pac take the fall. But I think Ospreay's winning. He's going to get his big moment. I don't know if they're going to pull Ospreay and Ricochet yet, but I do think that's going to be soon. He might be because after All Out, what's the next pay-per-view? Full Gear? That's probably when they'll do Ospreay and Ricochet.
Wrestle Dream,
and then they're touting the shows at Arthur Ashe's Big Dynamite and Collision. So
nothing screams to Toni the rematch of MJF or Ospreay and Okada or Ospreay and Ricochet as a Wrestle Dream.
No, he's a 5-star match.
There you go.
But yeah,
not for nothing, Aaron. I've said 26.2 miles outside of Parts Unknown's my favorite screen name. Black Hole Combat Club with Regal's sneering face is a close second.
There you go. I mean, that's a good one.
That shit's great. Aaron.
All right, so we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to the match and a lot of possibilities as to where it can go afterwards. Will MJF go back into the world title picture? Who knows? But we do have Wrestle Dream in Tacoma, Washington, and I feel like the world title match for that is going to be between some Washington natives, but we'll see what happens on that. Let's talk about a Washington native who is in the main event of AEW All In. We got Swerve Strickland. He is a Washington guy going up against another Washington guy, Bryan Danielson, in what could be Bryan's last match. If he loses, he retires. We all know how retirement stipulations go, but Bryan seems like the kind of guy that would honor the stipulation. So this to me is the most intriguing world title match AEW has put out in a very long time. I legit do not know who's going to win this one or have any solid clue or prediction. I could see anything happening here. I could see it being Bryan's last match, or maybe all these interviews where he's like, yeah, I'm pretty much ready to go. I'm done. All this stuff is just a smoke screen. It's just a red herring to throw people off. Bryan could win. Maybe he's got, as Mark Henry would say, he's got a little bit more gas left in the tank, and he keeps the title until Tacoma. Like, I could see Bryan winning the title, going on and maybe having a short run. Maybe he loses it to Darby at Grand Slam. There's a rumor that Darby, now granted it's coming from Dave Meltzer, so I don't know how much weight it holds.
No.
So, I mean, I feel like Wrestle Dream is going to be some sort of a match, whether it's Bryan versus Swerve in a rematch, or they somehow get Darby in there and do like a three-way, or Darby wins the title at Grand Slam and defends against Swerve. I feel like the Tacoma show is going to be another match with the Seattle guys going for the title. Could be a triple threat with all three Seattle guys going at it. And I feel like that will be when Bryan is done as a full-time wrestler. Wrestle Dream will be that. With that being said, I still don't know who's going to win this match. I'm still not confident, but my gut feeling is Bryan Danielson is going to win the title, not just to keep his career going a little bit longer, but also so Tony Khan can say Bryan Danielson was an AEW world champion. Like, can you imagine that? Like, not having Bryan Danielson. Think of Tony Khan. He's a fanboy. He wants that Bryan Danielson be on the list of his world champions. And even if Bryan Danielson doesn't want it, I could see Tony Khan being like, you win the title, we get the big feel-good moment in Wembley, and then Bryan drops it to either Darby or Swerve at Wrestle Dream. And that'll be the end of Bryan's full-time run. And he can still come back and do the occasional match and whatnot. So I think I got to go with Bryan Danielson to win the championship here. So that's my take on it. Jeff, what do you think about this?
No, I agree. This is why I wanted to be part of the recap with you, because if Bryan wins, then he's world champion, and I get to be giddy and happy for my friend. And if he loses, then I get to be sad and cheer my friend on as he retires on his own terms, which is nice. We all in our little SoCal / indie fan community really felt it when he had to retire in 2016.
Yeah.
That was a tough day. Very much so. This one feels different. So I'm actually good with it either way, for the record. I'm content that he's been allowed to do this. I do agree with you about Toni making him the champion. More so, yes, because he's a fan and Bryan Danielson is Bryan Danielson, but also because Toni's fandom and the CM Punk experiment just fell so flat on its ass. He wants that best in the world vibe on his world champions list. People don't really look at Chris Jericho's reign as the first champion as a solid championship run. They kind of frown on Kenny's because of all the bullshit with Don Callis and everything. If Bryan can be the world champion as the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, I think that'll just light Toni's fandom lights all up and whatever. So I don't know where that sense was going, but I think Bryan has to win here. It feels more right than Swerve retaining for me.
All right, Big G. So far, 2 for Bryan. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, this one's a toughie for me too. I know it'll be one hell of a match. They're gonna pretty much do everything they can, and I feel like Swerve is gonna be more or less than the heel in this match. I'm gonna go with Bryan Danielson to win here too. Do you feel like if he does win, will this be bigger than him winning the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 30? Be bigger?
No.
Okay.
I want it to be. I really do, but I gotta be. I mean,
in the back of my mind, thinking like, yeah, he won big at WrestleMania 30 and that whole storyline, but now we have this storyline.
Had he stayed healthy and had an actual run as the WWE champion, and if he stays healthy and has a run here, then it could have been a discussion. But the fact that he won and then didn't really get an opportunity, it feels like a bigger moment because of everything surrounding it.
Right.
But I will say this: if he wins, I will consider it to be one of the biggest title wins in AEW history. Definitely could be an argument for the biggest world title victory in AEW. With that many people,
AEW. It just unfortunately because of reigning WrestleMania, it won't be Bryan's biggest moment, but it'll be up there.
Yeah, it'll be a top 5 AEW title change for sure.
Absolutely.
So Matthew, we'll throw it over to you now with your thoughts.
I'm on the fence on this one because, I think Bryan Danielson should have won the world title years ago when he was in the feud with Omega, when he was in the feud with Hangman. He should have won then. I don't know if I want to see him win the title just because he's retiring, because Toni did that with Sting. But I could see him doing, if Danielson does win, a kind of Ric Flair thing. The moment you lose the title, you're done. You're retired. They could do something like that. But at the same time, Swerve's entire title reign has been such a mixed bag. Yes, he had the win against Ospreay, but then we found out Ospreay decided to change the finish because he felt bad for his friend. So how much does that really make Swerve look like a champion? How much of a bigger champion would it be to be the man to retire Bryan Danielson? There's also the rumor of Hangman and Swerve at All Out. Could that be for the title? Could that not be for the title? Could Hangman cost Swerve? This one's tough. I mean, my heart wants to say Danielson because as much as I don't want to see him win it because of he's retiring, I want to see him have that moment. But my head's saying Swerve needs to keep being champion. Swerve needs to prove himself. So I really don't know who I want to pick for this one, but I guess I'm going to say Swerve retains.
Heart and Head are mortal enemies when wrestling. They're sons of bitches. I hate that.
And this one's tough because there's so
No,
many.
it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's gonna be fun to watch because there's the uncertainty of it all. Dwayne, we'll wrap it up with you and get your thoughts on this one.
After listening to all y'all, I'm still torn myself. Because I can say so many ways going. I want to see Daniel Bryan win it, but a story circulated where he did an interview, said that he had no intention of really wanting the title. He's just there to elevate the younger guys, so to speak, and wrestle all his dream opponents that he always wanted.
Yeah.
How true that is, but like y'all said, it's not his call, it's Tony Khan's call. So if Tony Khan wants him to be champion, he'll be champion. However, I don't want to see another person retire as a champion. We got to go through another Tony Khan tournament.
Right.
And I want to see Swerve retain it as well. I agree with what you said. He's kind of a mediocre champion at best, but the man's done the best he could with what he's had to work with as well. So I don't know. I don't know if this would have been just a transitional champion just to put the title on Bryan or what, or did they just follow what people's want? Will Swerve want to become this first black champion? As hard as this pains me to say this, I don't know who to pick. So I'm going to take the chicken shit way out, and I'm going with the betting odds. And the betting odds are that pretty big on Daniel Bryan to win it. So that's what I'm going with.
All right. When in doubt, stick with the betting odds. I mean, the best of us have done that. I'm looking forward to the match. The main event should be one of the better matches in AEW history. I mean, you look at MJF and Ospreay, the top two matches right there, and Mariah May and Toni Storm. Like the top of the card is very strong for All In, and could be one of the best AEW pay-per-views of all time. Early start time, I'm a big fan of that. That'll make it fun. It's going to be like a 4-hour show, but at least it's early. And make sure you guys stay tuned. Let's go ahead and do our plugs before we wrap this up. So, Matthew, thank you as always for being on. Anything you would like to promote?
No, I mean, just as always, thanks for, letting me be on. It's always a privilege. Check out No DQ. Thank you to everybody else. Check out Big Baller G. Check out Jeff. Once Jeff's back online, check out his stuff and check out the rest of the multiverse family, and, I'm just glad to be part of this. And,
All right, we'll throw it over now to Dwayne. Dwayne, anything you would like to plug or promote?
All again is, thanks for having me once again. It's always fun to be being on with these guys. It's always great to hang out with Aaron and Big G and Matt and Jeff, buddy. I miss you, man. Hurry home. I know you're doing what you can, but I miss seeing you and your content and all. But, everybody enjoy the show. I'll be on vacation next week, so I'm thankful for that. Ready to come back and for Bash at Berlin, I guess we could say. So until then, until we meet again.
All right, thank you for that, Dwayne. Big Baller G, we'll go ahead and throw up your graphic. Go ahead and tell us where we can find you.
Yeah, if you love cats, if you're a cat person, YouTube Harley and Joker 2021. I got a good 15 videos up of them. X no DQ _ Big Baller G, TikTok Big Baller G 1988, Insta no DQ _ Big Baller G 1988. And I'm throwing out here, we are 2 episodes away from No DQ Review 300, folks.
All right. Yes, 300 coming up very soon. All right, Jeff, we'll go ahead and wrap it up with you. So Jeff may be joining me this Sunday, at least for the end of the stream, to talk about Bryan Danielson. So Jeff, tell us what's up.
I mean, I'll be there with the boss live Sunday night, 25th, for the main event part of the recap. Aaron will be recapping the entire show. Luckily, it won't be ungodly late. We can get him some dinner and actually get me going for the rest of my day. And as Big G said, no DQ review episode 300, man, I can't believe that. Yeah. It's funny when I go back and look at stuff, Aaron. It's, XMV made 100 episodes, and that was a big freaking deal for us, man. We did 100 episodes, like, yeah, right on. Now we get the review come up at 300. It's like,
Greg had his 200. Greg had his 200th episode not too long ago.
Yeah, Greg Sherry with 200, who was a fan of our stuff back in the day. It's just really neat that the no DQ galaxy is being allowed to expand and be allowed to have everybody do their own thing. It's a really cool process. I'm looking forward to, as you guys said, coming back at the first of the year. There's a lot to unpack before I get to do my relaunch, but it will be handled here hopefully soon. So yeah, looking forward to everything coming up the rest of this year and into next year. Next year is going to be big. There's a lot of milestones next year that, anniversaries that end in 0s or 5s, like 10s or 15s or whatever. There's a lot of that next year. Yeah. So there's going to be a lot of content to cover, and I am here for every bit of it. I've been telling Aaron off and on what I got planned, just trying to keep myself accountable more than anything else. But it's going to be a great year, but we got to get through this year first. And Sunday night's a great start for the second half of the year, because All In's going to be an awesome show.
Yep, and then next Thursday, same time as tonight, same time slot, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll be doing Bash in Berlin and NXT predictions. So make sure you guys tune in for that. Spread the word. Tell a friend about the channel. Have a great night, everyone. Enjoy your weekend with All In. And say yes to no DQ. We will see you all next time.
Definitely say yes to no DQ. Absolutely.